Hello everyone, you know who it is. Today we do a deep dive into Goku's scaling, because as we know, it's all over the place, both with the down players and the wankers, but we logical Dragon Ball fans need a solid middle ground to stand on. Today I hope not only to show you just how powerful Goku is, but explain everything you need to know about the cosmology of Dragon Ball. And yes, we are pushing it to the very limit. I will be using material from games, Dragon Ball Heroes, and the movies in this video. Since I already explained why they are pretty objectively canon in this video, and don't contradict anything at all. So if you haven't already watched that video, I suggest you go ahead and watch it first for clarification and save this video for later. While I've made videos like this in the past, a lot has changed since then. So this will basically be the most updated Goku scale there is. By the way, if you're new to the channel, we're getting really close to 2,000 subs, and by the time I upload this, we may have already passed 2,000 subs, and YouTube tells me that a lot of you who watch my videos don't like and subscribe. It would be really amazing if this video got over 1,000 likes. It's been a long time coming and a lot of hype has been built up for it, so I wouldn't want all my hard work to flop. Let's make this popular. Let's blow this up. The more of you like the video, the more people YouTube recommends it to. So if you want a genuine Goku scale without any ounce of downplay to be popular in our community, then it would be really great if you like the video, share, subscribe. It only takes you a few seconds. Post a link in your Discord servers if possible. Announce it, share it in every server, and let them know that Goku truly solos. So without any further ado, sit back, crack your back and knuckles, grab your popcorn, relax, and just enjoy the show. Alright, so for a quick recap, in my last video I covered how strong Kid Goku was, with the Calc for Roshi busting the moon being more consistently at large planet level, with El Manga Legendario referring more to celestial body than star, with it being implied that destroying a planet in Dragon Ball would be more impressive than Roshi's statement, which in this case would be referring more so to moon than a star. Using the lowballed calc for the Dragon Ball Earth, we established that it would scale Kid Goku to star level, as completely vaporizing a planet of up to 4 times the size of Earth would require star levels of force, and taking it beyond this, with the Dragon Ball Earth being the exact same planet as the one from Dr. Slump, with this planet being stated to be over 4 billion kilometers in circumference, the energy required to vaporize a planet over 900 times bigger than the Sun would require anywhere from multi-solar system level all the way up to multi-galaxy level and beyond, with Kid Goku ranging anywhere from faster than light to getting possibly over 1,000 times stronger and faster as a teenager, making him in large star level to a multi-galaxy with massively faster than light plus speeds. And for the beginning of Dragon Ball, being able to already destroy virtually any celestial body in the universe and moving massively faster than light is already crazy enough, but they get absolutely destroyed by even fodder characters in Dragon Ball Z. In the beginning of the Saiyan saga, Goku's brother Raditz arrives on Earth and kidnaps Gohan, with Piccolo shooting a ki blast so powerful it physically makes him fatigued, but it does nothing to Raditz. Remember that a casual Piccolo is at least large star level to possibly ranging from multi-solar to multi-galaxy, depending on how you interpret the Earth's size in Dragon Ball. Raditz knocks Krillin out with just his tail and one-shots Goku casually, with Krillin stating that he's never seen anyone stronger than Raditz, with Raditz stating that even if he and Goku were equal in power, he'd still beat the shit out of him, implying Raditz possibly has some insane equal stats hacks or martial arts technique he can use to overcome people with equal stats with himself. Raditz Scouter gives us the official power levels, with weighted Goku being at 334 and without his weights reaching 416, and with his Kamehameha wave, his power level shoots all the way up to 924, with Goku in the 23rd Budokai having a power level of 910 using his Super Kamehameha wave, meaning base case, Goku's Kameha surpasses the Super Kameha from before. Goku is able to actually change the trajectory of his Kameha and actually give Raditz a run for his money, and eventually having to stop and block it. Piccolo calls Goku lazy for not learning a new technique, but Goku says he's glad he and both Piccolo have been training, meaning Goku actually did train during all those times and did learn a new technique contrary to Piccolo's opinion, as he's now capable of changing the trajectory of his blasts, which was kind of effective against Raditz. Raditz states that even if they added hundreds of degrees to their power, they still wouldn't be able to be a match for him, and Raditz states multiple times that he's holding back, and that he can easily output more power, which is why Nappa thinks his power level is 1200 when it's actually 1500. Raditz easily blitzes Goku and Piccolo casually, with Goku's Kamehameha being capable of actually hitting Raditz after the Blitzfest, meaning Goku's blasts are much faster than he is. Gohan escapes from Raditz's bondage and explodes with rage, with his power level rising all the way up to 1300, and he crashes into Raditz, which nerfs him enough for Goku to grab hold of him and Piccolo to blast them both with his special beam cannon. Goku travels down Snake Way, which is stated to be 1,000,000 kilometers long according to legends. However, Goku isn't able to muster the stamina to run the entirety of Snake Way at full speed, so we can't actually scale Goku's speed off of this feat. Back on Earth, we see weighted Piccolo blast the moon with so much force that absolutely nothing remains, and it's erased from existence, with him being similarly as fatigued as when he blasted Raditz, with the force required to replicate this feat being at around large planetary to dwarf star level. Piccolo uses his telekinetic abilities to lift an entire Egyptian pyramid, with him dropping it to the ground with such force that it causes earthquakes around the entire planet. Goku eats the fruit of circular life, which cures his hunger for 100 days, allowing him to just run out of hell using a strange passage leading to King Enma's drawer. Piccolo and Gohan train in preparation for the arrival of the Saiyans, Vegeta and Nappa, and the narrator states that the Saiyans are the strongest beings in the universe at that point of the series. Goku is able to catch bubbles on King Kai's planet, which he couldn't prior, even without his weights, due to the gravity being at 10 times that of Earth, meaning Goku's power level in base is now at least 416 or 924. Baba the Fortune Teller can't actually read the futures of the Saiyans, showing that the Saiyans had some sort of fate resistance, likely due to them being too strong. Goku learned the Spirit Bomb, which King Kai states that its mere presence could destroy the entire planet if not controlled properly, with him also stating that Goku has no limits to his strength. With Goku training completed, he bolts down Snake Way at incredible speeds, even while suppressed, far surpassing King Kai's expectations of him needing to take 2 days to get past it. Nappa lifts his 2 fingers, and his technique, the Giant Storm, creates an explosion visible from space, with the same technique even being stated to be capable of destroying the planet in Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Goku arrives on the battlefield to face Nappa, who easily beat the Z-Fighters, who themselves casually one-shot Cybermen that are relative to Raditz, and Krillin is actually shown to be capable of killing Nappa with his Destructo Disc. Goku reaches a power level of 8,000, and no diffs Nappa, who is stated to have a power level of 4,000, with Nappa being able to tank the Spirit Tri-Beam from Tien, which pound for pound is many times stronger than the Kamehameha. Goku is able to repel Nappa's attacks simply by yelling, and can easily counter Nappa's ultimate attack with a non-charged blast. Despite Vegeta seeing Goku's power at 8,000, he still thinks Nappa can defeat him if he just concentrates, so Nappa was not going at full power. Nappa calms himself and powers up to the point where he starts making Goku sweat, and Vegeta thinks their battle will last forever, forcing Goku to activate his Kaioken and one-shot Nappa, whose power level shot all the way up to 8,000. Vegeta creates a mini moon and turns into a great ape, with him overpowering Goku's Kaioken just by existing, with base Vegeta being stated to display power capable of destroying the Earth without any amps at all, with Vegeta's base power level being stated to be 18,000, and Goku with a power level of 24,000 was dominating Vegeta, and Goku uses Kaioken times 4 and reaches a power level of 32,000 and overpowers Vegeta, with Vegeta having surpassed his father even as a child, and King Vegeta destroyed 3 planets with a wave of his hand at a power level of almost 10,000, and the prince being there to watch it happen. Goku thinks that charging up the Spirit Bomb for only 10 seconds can take down Vegeta in his Great Ape form, whose battle power should have multiplied hundreds of times, with it being a 10 times non-linear multiplier to his power level. Yajirobe, with a power level of almost 1,000, chops Vegeta's tail off, with Krillin and Gohan using the remains of Goku's D-Fusion Spirit Bomb to put Vegeta down. Vegeta gets crushed by Great Ape Gohan, However, he is still alive, and Goku lets him escape being killed by Krillin. This marks the end of the Saiyan saga. In the beginning of the Namek saga, Goku eats a senzu bean and becomes stronger than he was in his fight with Vegeta, due to the fact that Saiyans get Zenkai boosts after healing from a life-threatening injury. Goku has his old Saiyan pod redesigned into a spaceship that can reach Namek in around 6 days, and he had a gravity chamber that could go up to 100 times gravity. Goku has to fix his spaceship, which was knocked off course by an asteroid and was heading inside of a star. And he dodges asteroids while the spaceship is moving that fast, and the spaceship is traveling from the Earth to Namek in 6 days, with Namek being located at the other side of the universe. Goku having massively faster than light reaction speed is actually pretty consistent from the Saiyan saga, and we know that he got stronger from his Zenkai boost after he fought Vegeta, but not by a lot to make that much of a difference, meaning if you divide Goku's speed by how much he got stronger, it would still yield a massively faster than light Saiyan saga Goku, which proves the consistency of MFTL plus early Dragon Ball characters. Recoome is so powerful he can breathe away Gohan's attacks. This same Gohan has his potential unlocked by Elder Guru, with his power level being at 14,000, yet Goku is still capable of casually one-shotting Recoome. El Manga Legendario states that a power level of 10,000 can destroy a planet, with the Earth in Dragon Ball being considered a small planet and not even regular planet-sized. Goku blows away Jis and Berta with a simple Ki shout and is able to casually blitz Berta, who claims he is the fastest being in the universe. Jace runs to Captain Ginyu for help, in which he states that nobody can beat the Ginyu Force with the exception of Frieza. This is actually pretty interesting, seeing as Goldo is capable of not only paralysis, but the ability to stop time, and Captain Ginyu can steal your body regardless of your strength. Ginyu calls Goku a freak because he's never heard of a Saiyan with a power level of over 60,000. He tries attacking Goku's Kaioken times 2, in which his attacks simply bounce off of Goku's aura. In the manga, Ginyu calls Goku a failed Super Saiyan and steals his body. In Goku's body, Ginyu is only able to muster a power level of 23,000, which is actually far weaker than his original power level at 100,000, and he gets beat up by Vegeta. And Goku's body is put into a healing pod, to which his body receives another Zenkai boost, going from a maximum power level of 90,000 to 3 million, which is over 33 times stronger than when he fought Ginyu, and he can actually put dust on Frieza's final form, which is stated to have immeasurable dormant power. Frieza at half power easily dominates Kaioken times 10 Goku, as Frieza has a power level of 60 million, with Goku being at 3 million. In the anime, Frieza only uses a third of his power, being 40 million, against Goku to dominate him, and Goku was at a power level of 30 million. This actually makes sense mathematically speaking. Goku activates Kaioken times 20, and his power level reaches 60 million, which actually dominates Frieza momentarily, with Frieza blocking Goku's Kaioken times 20 Kamehameha using one hand, but with a lot of effort. Goku resorts to using the Super Spirit Bomb, which is stated to gather energy from the entire universe, and its mere existence could crush the planet Namek itself. The Spirit Bomb hits Frieza at point-blank range and actually almost borderline kills Frieza, with the explosion being seen from space. But Frieza survives, and he's enraged, and he kills Krillin, which makes Goku enraged himself. Goku is surrounded by a dazzling glow, and his power level begins to rise at an incredibly fast rate. His hair turns completely gold, and he becomes the warrior of legends themselves, the Super Saiyan, which is stated in the Daizenshuu to be a 50 times multiplier to your power level, with Goku's power level being 150 million, with base Frieza at a power level of 530,000 being able to destroy planet Vegeta, a planet with over 10 times the gravity of Earth, with such force that while even assuming the Earth in Dragon Ball is the same size of our Earth, would yield anywhere from dwarf star level to solar system level. And with the 4 times calc for the Dragon Ball Earth, this would be around star level to multi-solar system level. And using the Dr. Slump Earth calc, it reaches anywhere from multi-solar system level to a staggering multi-galaxy level. with Goku being almost 300 times stronger than base Frieza in his Super Saiyan form, with Frieza in his second form being stated to have the power to destroy the entire universe, with his third form being stated to have gained power from another dimension, with the same being stated for his final form, which is actually stated to have immeasurable power, with multiple other sources stating that Frieza was either a threat to the universe or that he could destroy it in both the anime and the manga. Being a threat to the Dragon Ball universe in of itself is very impressive considering the size of the planets and the galaxies and solar systems within it. During arguably one of the longest fights in anime history, Frieza blasts Goku down into lava and causes a huge explosion in which Gohan thinks Frieza actually kills Goku and then tried facing Frieza on his own, to which he performs actually surprisingly well, with Goku being stated to come back from the brink of death in order to defeat Frieza, implying Goku may have gotten a Zenkai boost. Frieza throws a giant death ball at him, and Goku is able to punch it away so hard and fast it is launched out of the planet and destroys some other planet in space. Frieza and Goku continue to fight equally, and Frieza's power is dropping so fast that even base Goku can dodge his Destructo Discs, and then he controls his Death Saucer and tries to kill Goku, but he ends up cutting himself in half. Goku gives Frieza energy to live in hopes that he will change, to which Frieza responds by using the same energy to blast Goku in an attempt to kill him. Then Goku is enraged as he obliterates Frieza, making one of the hardest lines in anime history. Namek was set for destruction 5 minutes prior to this moment by Frieza, and it finally detonates, with the explosion being shown from outside the galaxy itself and is actually confirmed in the guide. With galaxies in Dragon Ball being composed of innumerable nebulas, which are described as solar systems composed of innumerable stars, and a solar system in Dragon Ball would be at least multi-solar system level to galaxy level in our world, and a galaxy in Dragon Ball would be at least multi-galaxy level size to possibly even universal, as it states that the contents of the celestial bodies are literally innumerable, implying that there are numbers so high it literally cannot be counted, or literally just infinite in size. Celestial bodies in Dragon Ball tend to be much larger than our regular universe, with planets like Earth being over 400 to 900 times bigger than our sun, and still being called a small planet that can be destroyed in a single shot, with planet Vegeta being over 10 times that of Earth, with the solar system in Dragon Ball far exceeding even this. With Namek being so large that even MFTL Plus characters like Piccolo take time to travel certain distances around the planet while going at full speed, supporting the fact that it is a ridiculously large planet, and yet the Doria thinks it's not even large, despite its detonation being seen from outside a nearly infinitely sized galaxies. This makes you wonder just how large planets can get in Dragon Ball, and it also makes more sense when you consider the fact that there is a literal planet the size of the entire universe in the afterlife, if not far bigger. Frieza, with almost no ki and half his body gone, survives the explosion of planet Namek. Goku is currently one of the strongest beings in existence, having the power to destroy the entire universe itself, and being so much faster than light is not even funny. This marks the end of the Namek saga. Garlic Jr. made his appearance in the first Dragon Ball movie Dead Zone, which happens before the Saiyan saga, meaning every feat performed within it scales below even characters like Raditz. In this movie, Garlic Jr. creates a super space with his ki, which some translations say in hyperspace. However, the kanji used is actually Chokukan, which means super space, in contrast to Akukan, which means hyperspace, with super space either being something fifth dimensional or something infinite dimensional. However, in order to say super space is infinite dimensional rather than just higher dimensional, you would need context. For example, super spaces that are in context to bosonic string theory are inherently infinite dimensional, as they involve supersymmetry, which entails an infinite amount of dimensional axes and coordinates. With quantum mechanics and wave functions being shown to exist in Dragon Ball, stated on the official Dragon Ball website, and Takao Koyama, who is a screenwriter for Dragon Ball itself, actually confirming multiple times that the living world is infinite dimensional, Now, many people may not agree with using Koyama's statements due to the fact that Koyama has stated that it's just his opinions, and people can also argue for death of the author. However, I made an entire video explaining why Koyama is valid, as well as my friend Tokyo doing the same thing. Also, I do not disagree with the fact that some of Koyama's statements are deemed inconsistent, but definitely use them if they are. Goku is now so strong that he can just ignore being magically teleported away from Yardarat against his own will, showing again that Dragon Ball characters can simply ignore certain abilities or hacks by being too powerful. This is also shown in the Saiyan saga where Shenron couldn't simply just kill Vegeta and Nappa. Frieza returns as Mecha Frieza with his father King Cold, who calls the Earth a small planet that can be destroyed in one shot. Frieza stated that if he and his father teamed up against Goku, he wouldn't be a problem. However, he thinks he's grown so much stronger that he can handle Goku himself. Trunks states that he can bring Frieza down in seconds, which he quite literally does at the end of the fight. Frieza throws a dead ball at Trunks, which is stated to be 10 times the energy used to destroy Namek, and Trunks is able to catch it with one hand. This feat would also apply to Goku, seeing as in Trunks' timeline, Goku was the one who killed Frieza and King Cold. Goku and Trunks train together in the Super Saiyan forms, in which Goku blocks all his strikes with a single finger, and he states that Trunks was not going all out as he's able to sense Trunks' emotions. However, Trunks is still convinced that Goku's finger is more durable than Frieza, and that the androids in his timeline are actually weaker than the ones in Goku's timeline. Goku then shows off his new technique, the instant transmission, which allows him to instantaneously travel anywhere he wants as long as he knows someone there and is able to sense their ki. The thing about instant transmission is that it's not just a regular teleportation technique where your atoms disappear from one place and appear in another. It actually takes you to a different realm that is stated to transcend time and is located between time and space, which is in context to the fact that it encompasses place at the Sugoroku space and the hyperbolic time chamber, and is stated in the Senshu guidebook to have no concept of time and space within it. In Dragon Ball GT, when Kibito, Kai, and Goku were teleporting, Baby's attack actually reaches inside of the instant transmission zone and warps Goku into a different dimension of space, referring to the Sugoroku space. If this realm is stated to have no concept of time and space, while also being stated to transcend time and space, being located between it in context to the fact that it encompasses some dimensions of the living world, it would easily qualify this instant transmission realm as out-of-versal bare minimum, which means it allows you to move at something called irrelevant speed, which is movement beyond the concepts of distance and time, essentially making you faster than speed itself. It's actually stated that characters after the Namek saga are so strong that their power levels can't be measured numerically or mathematically, with this obviously being in reference to them reaching the Universal Plus levels where they possess infinite power, which is very consistent with the Android saga and above. Piccolo tells the Z-Fighters to not even bother coming to face the androids in 3 years if they think that they don't see themselves standing a chance against them, as he thinks that the androids will be unthinkably strong. Goku and Piccolo 2v1 Gohan, and Vegeta trains under 300 times gravity and dodges a form of laser while under this gravity. Goku faces Android 19 but is unable to fight at full strength due to his heart virus, but his power actually makes 19 stronger. Piccolo calls Goku weak and Tien objects to this. However, Piccolo states that Goku should be far superior to this level of strength, with Tien thinking that Goku is so powerful that he's on a completely different dimension from them in terms of strength, which actually ties into the statement about characters growing so powerful that they could no longer be measured numerically in terms of power. With Namek, Frieza, and Goku being capable of destroying the entire universe that has been stated multiple times to be infinite in size, with the only arguments against this being that the universe was stated to be infinitely expanding and Bulma stating that the universe had an edge. However, these arguments are wrong for many reasons. One being that infinity can still expand, because if you have an infinite rubber band and there's a centimeter long distance between marked points on that rubber band and you stretch that band out that is already infinite, it doesn't change the fact that it is infinite in size, but the space between those marked points can actually still expand. The same analogy applies to the universe, as space between galaxies can expand, yet the universe still remains infinite, with there being stated to be in fact infinite galaxies in Dragon Ball and even in GT, meaning that the universe contains a set of galaxies that are infinite while still being infinitely greater than that set of infinite galaxies, meaning that it is ridiculously infinite, and to suggest that it isn't is ludicrous. Not to mention, infinitely expanding statement is is a mistranslation, and the infinitely expansive statement doesn't contradict anything at all. Dragon Ball down players just don't know how to read. Expansive comes from the word expanse, for example when you say a vast expanse of space, so if the universe in Dragon Ball is infinitely expansive, it's referring to the fact that it's an infinite expanse of space. The second main argument being Bulma's statement about the universe having an edge. However, people ignore the fact that Jocko quite literally debunks her claim, and not only that, but an infinite universe can still have an edge and don't contradict anything at all. You can be at the edge of a universe and then it stretches onto infinity in the opposite direction. So the notion of the Dragon Ball universe being finite is objectively wrong, both by a real life and logical standpoint, and what is directly shown in the source material. With Namek, Frieza, and Goku scaling to this, making them universal plus, and yet their power levels were still measurable, with Goku now being so strong in his Super Saiyan state that the increase of power in his Super Saiyan form is actually incapable of being measured, meaning he would be at least 5th dimensional levels of strength. However, this is not going to make him low complex, as you would need to be 5D on an infinite level in order to be low complex. You basically need to be capable of destroying an entire 5th dimensional space rather than just scaling to finite things within it, which would at least place you even beyond infinite 4D power, meaning Goku is currently infinitely above even Universal Plus. Piccolo actually no-diffs Dr. Gero, who is actually stated to be stronger than Android 19 in the data books, which means Piccolo would know how strong Goku was for sure. Vegeta states that the androids are absolute fodder compared to the rumors about them, and everyone else thinks they may have overtrained. Piccolo thinks that Super Saiyan Vegeta had actually surpassed Goku. However, due to Piccolo and Gohan not actually being as strong as Goku, he may just have been holding back in order to train them at an equal level, to which both Piccolo and Gohan are confident they would be relevant against androids who at this point would neg-diff Namek Saga Super Saiyan Goku. This implies that even base Goku is currently at least 50 times stronger than he was against Frieza as a Super Saiyan, and this is less of an assumption when you realize that Goku not only trained intensely for Super Saiyan killing androids for over 3 years, but prior to that, he also had Yardarat training, which we know by Dragon Ball Super is insanely overpowered. Goku also struggles with his heart virus, and Piccolo fuses with Kami in order to be able to fight the androids.